on Apple, take one.
They want to tell you something. 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 They want to tell you. Want to tell you.
Look, the only thing that matters is that we get back home.
Oh, how
You do want to go home,
the
right?
wars are.
You do want to go home.
Oh,
But you're on a candid camera. Laugh real funny. It's real freaking funny. It's real funny.
Yeah.
The legacy continued on, continued on. Now invaded by traitors, carrying on leaders to destroy the people of a country once free.
Welcome to the Porthole to Justice, the window to the truth. That was Revolution by Zeph Daniel and Patricia Daniel. Original music available on iTunes. It is Sunday, November 3rd, 2019. And today's topic is Stop Sexualizing the Children. And Laz, are you there? I thought you were there with me. Okay, stand by. I'm so excited to have activist Lazaro Ecenarro. Hi. Laz?
Hello?
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. I was so excited.
How you doing?
I haven't been talking to anyone. I haven't been picking up my phone. And last night, I was so happy when I saw that you called me. I'm like, of course I'm going to pick up for Laz. How are you?
Good.
So, okay, just for introduction's sake, some of the listeners may not be aware of you or your activism. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I don't even know where to begin. I started with Child Protective Services, exposing Child Protective Services, and what I mean by exposing is following the money, showing the corruption, and how deep within the government this goes, and a lot of agencies that are tied with the trafficking of our children. Through foster care agencies, including the Catholic Church. So it runs deep to the legislators and all the way up to Washington, D.C. with Title IV funding. And then I guess the other one is more me talking or bringing a lot of the evidence regarding Uranium One, the Clinton Foundation, the Podestas, and what happened with the Bundys in Nevada, mostly what happened in Oregon, with the Hammonds and the Bundys wanting help the Bundys going with other patriots to help the Hammonds against the federal government that was ceding their land for the Clinton Foundation and the uranium deal. So there's a lot of the things when you get involved there, when you want to look for the truth, you got to research and you got to dig a lot of information and put all the connections together. And for some crazy reason, God gave me that ability. And I never made any money out of anything. Anything that I've done it for the people, so that people can understand what's happening, why it's happening, and who's doing all this to us. So that's basically me in a nutshell.
Yeah, that's kind of how you and I met too. You were working on the Bundy case, and we realized the same thing they were doing with the land. Basically, they're doing with the children, as far as confiscating private property and so forth. And so, yeah. Did you hear that story that came out about an Arizona grand jury indicted a Maricopa County assessor, Paul Peterson, for multiple counts of fraud relating to black market adoption? Did you hear about that?
Unfortunately, I have not heard about that. And I can't wait to hear more about it. I'm just hoping David Jose and a couple other people probably involved in that. I know David Jose from Arizona is doing amazing work out there in regards to exposing the child trafficking there through the state. And at that time, even Jan Burr, the former governor there, she knew all of this was going on and did nothing regarding Child Protective Services. Now with the current governor, it actually, it's even gotten worse. So we know the government's involved in the child trafficking through the members of the American Bar Association, the SPLC, Child Protective Services, and the courts, which are judges and lawyers and politicians, because most of them are members of the American Bar Association. So when we start looking at things like this, we have to go real deep and put the connections together. But I'm really hoping David Jose was behind all that.
Has he? I don't have him in my feed anymore. I don't see him in my feed. So, yeah, I've invited him to come on to the show. So maybe he will come on and share, because I know he's out there in Arizona, right?
That's correct. The Phoenix area.
Yeah. The other thing that's really been disturbing to me lately that I've been watching is the sexualizing of the children, and not really having any respect for the maturation process, giving children, drugs that they have to stay on for the rest of their lives, younger and younger ages, for transitioning into the other sex. And this is before they even go through puberty. We're talking young.
Right.
These are drugs they have to stay on for the rest of their life. And that have really, from what I understand, they have a lot of side effects.
That's correct. And there's a premise behind all this. This is the breakdown of our society. This has been going on. It was exposed by Bill Cooper a long time ago before he was assassinated by the members of the New World Order, the defective government under the Bush administration. But at the end of the day, and I'm working on a huge project, and I'll just give you a little bit of this. And it's coming out of the state of California, where this was created, which is a transgender movement. Now, what you brought up, it's amazing because it connects the destruction of our children. And with this transgender story time crap, it was basically what they're doing is trying to psychologically mess these kids up. Do they want to be a girl or do they want to be a boy? And these children, I mean, especially just an article came out about, and at Storytime, some freak pedophile exposed himself to these children and dressed up like a drag queen. So we know their motives, and you basically, and we're funding this. So to the American people, you are funding this through your taxation. Your tax dollars are funding this. This is an incentive so they can make profit. And they can psychologically affect our children. So their purpose, people in the government are funding this. So I'm talking about perverse, pedophile politicians are funding this and allowing this to happen. Now, as we put the story time and who's behind the story time, and there's gonna be a huge thing here because in Oklahoma, here come November 7th and 9th, story time is coming into Oklahoma City, and we're putting all this together a day before the day before story time to inform the American people who are behind it, and they're powerful people again, and people will be surprised that even reporters from Fox News are involved in this, and they're supporting this through their corporations. They're not going to say it outright, but they sure damn know where that money's coming from.
Well, we know a lot of the mainstream media is complicit with the immunity human trafficking. But this whole, this whole transgender thing, it's, I don't know if you know who she is. She has a web page called Mommy Activist. But she's been very vocal on this issue, story time, and she's just being viciously attacked. I mean, by this network. Like I'm online. Like I've never seen it before. These people are just.
Well, if it's possible, I would like for you to put me in communication with her, because right now what we're working on, it's huge, and we're gonna let the American people decide, the facts, and we're gonna we're gonna connect all the names. So this is, and if any way I can help her or we can help each other, I'll be more than happy. But we're gonna blast this like no different than I did when I was in Washington State, no different when I was in Oregon, and putting all the documents together. This is gonna be extra special when we put all this together, and it's taking a lot of time, but we got time. We got time on our side. And as we put all this information together, we're going to release names, powerful names, and we're going to show you the documents and how they're involved.
I mean, I'm not opposed to, being gay or transgender. I grew up in LA around the gay community. However, I am very much opposed to sexualizing the children. And rather than this being presented as something that would be, I don't know. It's become more of like a dogma or something, like to get people to become trans or, gay.
Right.
It's being imposed on us all, basically.
Exactly.
I mean, it's like all of our lately it just feels like, our morals and everything is being preached to us by the transgender and gay community. And, I mean, I don't know.
No, I mean,